Hello and welcome. Ever wondered if what you see, hear, and taste is a pure, unfiltered feed from the world around you? It's a fascinating thought, but research suggests something quite different. Our understanding of the world isn't just raw sensory data. Instead, it's more like a carefully constructed narrative. And guess what? Language is a principal architect in building this reality. This field, known as neuro-linguistic sensory processing, explores exactly how the language we use shapes our perception, how it influences what we see, hear, taste, smell, and feel. It's become clear that language does much more than just stick labels on our experiences. It actively molds them. The very words we have and the grammatical structures we use can direct our attention, highlight certain sensations over others, and even shape our emotional responses to what we perceive. Think about colors, for example, or how we describe where things are in space. Different languages carve up the color spectrum differently or use unique ways to talk about spatial relationships. And these variations aren't just linguistic quirks. They can lead to actual differences in how speakers of those languages perceive and interact with their physical world. Studies have also shown that the richness of vocabulary for senses like taste and smell can impact how easily people identify and describe these sensations. Cultures with deep culinary traditions often have a much more nuanced vocabulary for flavors, which might actually lead to a heightened sensory experience of food for them. Neuroscience gives us a peek into how this works in the brain. Brain imaging studies show that language processing areas are closely connected with our sensory cortices. So when we encounter sensory information, our linguistic frameworks kick in, helping to interpret and categorize that incoming data. It's like language acts as a filter or a lens, prioritizing certain sensory details and weaving them into a coherent picture of reality. This influence of language also extends deeply into our emotional world. The words we use to label and understand our emotions can actually shape how we experience and respond to them. Different languages might offer more or fewer ways to describe emotional states, potentially leading to cultural differences in emotional intelligence and how we express ourselves. The way language frames an emotional event can even change our memory of it and how we react later on. And it's not just words. The embodiment of language, how we physically interact with the world, including gestures and body language linked to speech, also contributes to our sensory perception. Even the way we articulate sounds and the motor movements involved in speaking can influence how we perceive sound. So in essence, language isn't just a tool for communication. It's a fundamental part of our perceptual machinery. It organizes the flood of sensory stimuli, gives it meaning based on our learned concepts and cultural backgrounds, and ultimately constructs the subjective reality each of us lives in. Understanding this intricate dance between language and sensory processing really opens up new ways to appreciate the incredible diversity of human experience and the profound impact our linguistic frameworks have on how we engage with the world.